Halachot of Lashon Hara. We're continuing about the classic misconceptions and mistakes, common mistakes in Halachot of Lashon Hara. This is category number 8, even to family, about family. The author writes, based on the Chafetz Chaim, it is Assur to relate Lashon Hara about a person, even to his, meaning the subject's, relatives. Even if the speaker himself is a relative of the subject. For example, a brother is speaking Lashon Hara to his father about another brother, it is still Assur. Obviously, a person may not speak Lashon Hara about his father or mother to anyone as well. That's in addition to Lashon Hara, also an Assur of over the Assur of Kibud of Va'em. The Chafetz Chaim writes, one who speaks in a derogatory fashion about his parents obviously violates Kibud of Va'em, and it's a safek if that applies to this includes one older brother and one stepfather or stepmother. The Chafetz Chaim remains undecided if the extension of Kibud Av Va'em includes his relatives, only applies to dishonoring them in person or even not in their presence as well. But the halacha continues and says, although a close relative may not be makpid on the Lashon Hara that's being spoken about him by a family matter, meaning, generally speaking, brothers, sisters, don't get offended if their older brother, younger brother is telling their parents something that happened with them. Meaning, okay, they'll get upset, but they won't bear that grudge for too long. Even if that's the case, and the intent of the speaker would generally not be malicious, but rather to correct his relative's wrongdoing, if the speaker erred in its protest of the subject's action was warranted, this is still considered Lashon Hara. The Chafetz Chaim brings it out from a very simple proof from Miriam, Moshe, and Aaron. This is evidenced by the story of Miriam, Aaron, and Moshe Rabbeinu. The Midrashim are clear that Miriam and Aaron had only the best intentions in mind when they spoke about Moshe, as they felt he was wrong to separate from his wife, and they wanted to correct this supposed fault. However, their assessment was mistaken, and they misjudged Moshe's level of prophecy, and thereby his actions. Because of this, Miriam was punished with sarat, even though she had been right. Had she been right, she would not have been guilty of Lashon Hara at all. So the halacha explains, to correct the relative's wrongdoing, if the speaker erred in his protest of the subject's actions was warranted, then it's still considered Lashon Hara. So again, obviously, if it's lo to'elet and you're trying to help, you won't be over Yisrael Lashon Hara. But if there's ever the slightest misconception or something that's wrong, or wasn't clear what you were saying, that even about your sibling, about a family member which you're close with, and they're usually mochel and they're not makpid, it's still considered Lashon Hara. We'll continue with this, B'ezras Hashem, next time I will. Chazak Baruch.